The human mind is a fascinating maze of thoughts, instincts, and impulses, and nowhere is this more evident than in the act of decision-making. Every day, whether we realize it or not, our brains engage in a silent battle of perception, logic, and emotion to guide us through an endless series of choices. Some decisions feel almost automatic, like selecting the first thing that catches your eye on a menu. Others carry profound weight, leaving us frozen as we try to predict their ripple effects across our lives. But what's really happening beneath the surface when we decide? To uncover this, we must look at the intricate processes that define how humans choose and act. At its core, decision-making is a symphony of sensory input, cognitive evaluation, and emotional response. It all begins with perception, the brain's first step in processing the world around us. Every moment, your senses are flooded with information, the sights, sounds, smells, and textures of your environment. But not all of it makes it into your conscious mind. The brain sifts through this sensory chaos, determining what deserves your attention. Imagine sitting in a bustling cafe. Around you, conversations overlap. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee mingles with pastries wafting from the counter, and perhaps your phone buzzes in your pocket. Amid this flood of stimuli, your brain narrows its focus, perhaps to the person sitting across from you. This process, known as attention, is the next stage of decision-making, where the prefrontal cortex works to prioritize what truly matters in that moment. Once focused, your brain shifts to evaluation, weighing the options before you. This stage is both logical and deeply personal, as it integrates past experiences with current goals. Returning to the cafe scene, perhaps you're deciding whether to listen intently to your companion or let your attention drift to the intriguing snippets of conversation coming from a nearby table. Your brain's calculations in this phase involve assessing the value of each option, not just logically, but emotionally, too. Then comes the pivotal moment, the decision itself. The prefrontal cortex, like a skilled conductor, synthesizes all the gathered information to direct your next move. But even after a decision is made, the process doesn't stop there. The brain must activate its motor regions to execute the choice. You lean forward, nodding as your companion speaks, or perhaps you glance toward the nearby table, succumbing to curiosity. Yet underlying all these steps is an often overlooked force, emotion. Emotions are not intrusions on our rationality. They are its partners, shaping how we perceive and prioritize. Fear sharpens our focus on potential dangers, while joy encourages us to take risks or seize opportunities. When you weigh whether to try something new or stick with the familiar, your feelings about risk and reward inevitably tip the scales. Emotions can steer us toward caution or propel us into the unknown. They amplify certain options while muting others, subtly influencing the final outcome. However, emotions can also cloud judgment, particularly when stress or impulsivity takes the wheel. The brain, for all its brilliance, sometimes struggles to balance short-term desires against long-term goals. Who hasn't made a decision they later regretted, a snap judgment in the heat of frustration, or an indulgence in the face of temptation? But even these so-called mistakes reveal the delicate interplay between emotion and logic. The same impulses that lead to a reckless decision can, in other contexts, inspire courage or creativity. The final stage of decision-making is perhaps the most revealing, our reaction to the outcome. Success fills us with satisfaction and pride, reinforcing behaviors and strategies we'll likely repeat. Failure, on the other hand, can evoke regret or anger, but it also serves as a powerful teacher. How we interpret these emotional responses, whether we learn from them or allow them to discourage us, shapes not just future decisions, but our entire outlook on life. Interestingly, science has shown that the line between rational and emotional decision-making is not as clear-cut as we once thought. The brain doesn't operate in neatly divided compartments. Instead, it relies on overlapping networks that blend logic and feeling. This means that even our most calculated choices are influenced by emotion, while our gut instincts are often rooted in subtle rationality. Understanding this interplay helps us navigate decisions with greater awareness, allowing us to align our choices with our values and aspirations. So, the next time you find yourself facing a decision, be it trivial or life-changing, remember that your mind is an extraordinary machine, weaving together perception, logic, and emotion to guide you forward. Each choice you make reflects not just the circumstances at hand, but the entirety of your experiences, goals, and desires. And in those choices lies the story of who you are becoming.